2018, 5 years ago, I grabbed hold of my first ever FromSoft game. People would have differing opinions, which game you should start with, how to play, etc. I don't care, I just want to know what the buzz is all about, why they are popular and being held in such high regard. I just play whatever is the latest and available at the time. People would advise against it. Thinking about it, maybe they're right. Playing the latest game has set a precedent in my mind that each game must be at least of this level. That's when Dark Souls 3 became one of my favorite games ever. Some would say it's inferior to the first game, the world design is nothing compared to the interconnectedness of Dark Souls 1. Graphs were being made to prove a point, but I genuinely don't care. I could argue Dark Souls 1 has a lot more gimmick bosses that are easier to beat. Clunky movement, worse graphics, I could go on and on, but at that point we're just trying to prove each other wrong. With the trilogy under my palm, along with the unspeakable game that Sony doesn't want to talk about, I finally entered the Soulsborne era. It makes me happy that even after all those successes, FromSoft doesn't seem to show any sign of stopping, nor do they let it get into their head. People have been craving a new game from their beloved game studio that took the world by storm. A game designed for hardcores that crave challenges that would make them hard. And answered they did. Not long after I finished Dark Souls 3, FromSoft revealed a brand new game on E3 2018. God bless its soul. It shook the ground, it answered many questions. Or so people thought. What could it be, they asked. People expected Dark Souls, but Miyazaki has said they will steer away from that franchise for now. Could it be the next Bloodborne then, they presumed? But nay, it couldn't, with the IP held by Sony. People threw everything but nothing sticks. Dark Souls, but in Japan, they said. Tenchu and Dark Souls? Maybe. 2019 came and they released the new game that I and many others are welcoming with great enthusiasm. Little did we know that the game would be unlike what we have experienced. With a game that is now published by Activision instead of the usual Bandai Namco, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice steers away from the usual action RPG to the fast-paced action game. The game, as was explained by creators who played it firsthand, was different.
It isn't an RPG like the last few From Software games, but it is instead an action-adventure game.
The game felt faster. The focus departed from the usual roll dodge to parrying, and the freedom of role-playing, building your own character, choosing your own equipment, stripped down to only a katana and a collection of the shinobi tools. It's not just different, it is new, unlike any other. People were underestimating how different it would be. Despite every creator ever already telling us that this will be different, people still held on to their notion of it'll still be like Dark Souls. Oh, it's just the place that's different. Oh, it's just gonna be a bit faster. It just inserts a jump button to Dark Souls. While I and many others still welcomed the change with high enthusiasm, some would condemn the game for not meeting their supposed different expectation. You would know the story if you were also in this community. People asking for an easy mode, people saying the game is too hard, that the game artificially inflates its difficulty, that the game doesn't give you the freedom to change your stats, that it's not an RPG, that it is objectively bad. Despite all that, Sekiro still sold over 2 million units 10 days after its release, received multiple awards, including the Game of the Year of 2019. 3 years pass and they are finally back to, I can't believe I'm saying this, but they are back to a casual experience. A game that can be enjoyed by anyone. A game known for being the easiest, most accessible experience for newcomers. You know what I'm talking about, everyone knows. It's the so-called best game to ever exist, Elden Ring. Departing from a contained interconnected world into an actually connected open world. While there are some pushbacks, like some developers bashing of the horrendous UI UX or just the typical too hard voice, the game was released with barely any controversies. It was loved by many and objectively, see how I put quotations in there, is a good game. Although Elden Ring is not the subject for today's class session, we must not forget that this game changed the community's landscape to a whole new level. We can still argue that the Soulsborne community was still a niche before this, just a large one. It is popular, but not enough to grab the attention of the midcore or even the casual players, unlike after Elden Ring's release. Selling over a staggering 13 million copies in just a month, it presents many newcomers to the world of Soulsborne. Like it or not, they are one of us. I like it. While it is a cause for celebration, it has to be noted that this means that many of these players' first and only game is the most accessible one in the franchise. It sets a precedent once again that From's game is as such. But let's stay positive, shall we? Our numbers grew and we, the Soulsborne community, became more inclusive with Elden Ring. Old players and new alike wait together at the edge of sunset for what new game From might release next. And answer they did. Before the end of the year, as if honoring the word that honored them with the title of Game of the Year again for Elden Ring, they brought a gift. Oh, I wonder what game they will bring. Oh, what's this? Is this Bloodborne? No, Jack, how many times do I have to tell you they're not going to make another Bloodborne? Anyway, for the first big reveal, they showed this. Armored Core? That's right, gamers. Turns out From didn't forget about this franchise. Longtime fans, in quotations, are probably asking, what the hell is this game? That's me. As a longtime fan, I've been meaning to check out more of From's game, not to mention AC is in the PSP as well. I just haven't gotten into it. Tell me about it. Backlog, am I right? Many of us have been in this limbo, so the existence of a new upcoming title in the franchise is definitely something we've been kinda hoping for. It's a door to finally try out one more series from the fan favorite studio. It's kinda funny that a lot of these FromSoft fans don't even play the other FromSoft game. Oh wait, that's me. At the same time, it also revitalized a lot of the fans of the franchise back from the dead, from being left to dust in a decade. What? Are we becoming like the GTA community here, Souls fan? Okay, jokes aside, there are some people that, expect the game to be Souls-like, weirdly enough. Though conspiracy theories doesn't go far here, it quickly was shut down by fans and creators alike. It's been said that it will be different, even by the developers themselves. We, the longtime fans, understand that it will be different. But still, we were hoping for the game to be fun nonetheless, praying for our long-lost brother to receive the same quality treatment for their beloved franchise. So, with no expectations attached, in late August, we, the longtime fans, finally decided to try this new little title that we have never heard about. We and the longtime AC fans.
At 30%.
Oh my goodness! It's not like Dark Souls! It's the same song and dance. We, not me, told ourselves that it would be different, but underestimated how different it would be. People always start with this, I love it.
I know the game would be very different from Elden Ring and any Souls-like so far, so I wasn't expecting anything like it.
And they proceed to expect everything like it.
I can't even beat the first boss.
Here comes the filter. It's definitely a confusing move for the fans. Why break the wave by steering away from the successful formula? Especially considering that to most, stability is what's comforting. With the fact that most of the new casual players coming from Elden Ring, this statement rings truer now more than ever. Talking about sales and revenue, they could have made more if they milked the Soulsborne formula again. Maybe put all the effort into Elden Ring's DLC. Become EA, become Activision, become Blizzard. They might get spit on by gamers, but their sales are always on top. Luckily, we are not alone in this, as some of our brothers of long-time AC fans also have their own fair share of disappointment, expecting the game to be like the old ones or whatnot. That the game is furthest from the AC formula, that it's too much like the Souls title. AC fans calling this a Souls game, Souls fans calling this isn't like Soulsborne. Both want the same similar experience where different is only a few inches away from their established formula. Become a soulless grab that milked the fans. Played on the weakness of the human psyche to always stay in the comfortable circle, unchanging, static, boring. Guess the fans aren't true fans after all. It seems like someone need to be reminded of who From Software is. Remember your first time with a FromSoft game. For me, it was Dark Souls 3. It was hard, terrifying at first. I didn't think I would beat the game at all. I thought I'd just abandon it. Stuck fighting for it. I just left it and hope I forget about it until the eventual giving up and uninstalling the game. But then, I came back. I beat the boss. Remember that feeling. Remember the moment you first overcame that difficulty. The rush of adrenaline, the ecstasy it put me through. That was enough to motivate me to continue and look for more. Then Sekiro, a different game from the usual Soulsborne. The game's fast and parry-focused mechanic threw me off guard, yet I still kept on even after 2 hours of not being able to beat the first ogre boss. The brief moment of triumph after a long battle, honing a new set of skills to be able to wrestle with a new world, yet one thing has never changed. I don't know about the past, but From's modern philosophy has never changed since Demon Souls. They are trying to evoke the same feeling for each game. The design changes, the game gets harder, but the philosophy never changes. To give satisfaction from overcoming great difficulty, that is what Miyazaki, and by extension, From, has been trying to emulate. And although I can't say much for the old AC, I found out from some AC fans that turns out AC games has always been different from one another.
Even as an old school Armored Core player, I had to make some huge modifications to my fighting style in order to get used to the new combat system in Armored Core 6. That's always the case when you get to a new Armored Core game. And honestly, that's part of the fun.
So, the fact that some AC fans are angry that the game is different can be seen as contrarian as well. Sure, some of the criticism could be called fair, but most vocal reprovals came from the frustration of not being able to even beat the tutorial boss, which they had been connecting to the inspiration of From's later titles. But again, this could be confirmation bias speaking. I'm not even gonna deny that fact, just like the bias of game difficult equal bad or game different from expectation equal bad. So some criticism like it should be more complex or it should have more parts customization etc. do still have merit. It's just not my talking point for the day. I mainly made this video not as a L plus get good plus get filtered kind of thing, but only as sort of a counter argument to that train of thought. A single train of thought. I know I put too much effort. Sure, there are a lot of filtering happening here, especially those who allegedly cannot beat even the tutorial boss, but that's been happening since, again, Sekiro. I would have known that because I'm almost part of that party. I watched Donkey's video on it before playing, so I thought, oh, let's just use this build for the whole game. Maybe I'm too late to the party and the build is already nerfed, but I was stuck not being able to defeat the Smart Cleaner. It wasn't until I gave up and changed my build around, beat the boss in a single try after that I realized, oh, so that's how they want me to play. And then I just swap my build around very often. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I'm the type of guy in any game that when someone asks me, what's your main? I would always answer, what main? I also would have known because I saw it firsthand when playing Monster Hunter World when they are still actively maintaining the game. Alatreon straight up filters 80% of the player base because most of them don't want to change their playstyle at all, sticking to the same build they have despite knowing it has no way of beating him, then call the game badly designed. I'm getting off track. No, I'm actually done. So this time, I turn the mic to you. What do you think of Armored Core 6? What do you think of this whole debacle? Feel free to comment down below, but please keep it a civil discussion, yes? And if you feel like the game's not for you, don't feel bad. Not every game is made to appeal to everyone. You can also let me know your problems instead. Get it off your chest. And if you enjoyed the video, here is the reminder to smash like, subscribe, and I'll be back after I finish Sekiro again. Then maybe I'll play other AC games. Just gonna put it in my backlog. Oh wait, where's my avatar?